Hey everybody, gonna do a quick trade recap for you today on the shorts we took in the market. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Let's get straight into it. So guys, let's first start off on the daily time frame before we do go ahead and move forward. As you guys can see, we do have a two-stage SMT. We have multiple cracks and correlation coming into today, but let's start off with just looking at yesterday's closure. We closed with an SMT at the high, paired with the persistent swing point, which is a crack and correlation. Coming into the market today, guys, what do we end up seeing as we approach the market this morning? Right, we see NQ here manipulating the previous day's high. And why is this very relevant and important? We have to understand when price is going to reverse, the only really relative liquidity pools in the market during the all-time highs is going to be previous days and previous week's highs. At that point, if we are still expanding, we are utilizing standard deviation projections. But again, right, I like to keep it just with the previous day's highs, previous week's highs. Keep it very simple. Again, another reason why I was also favorite shorts is because we do have higher time frame failure swings resting below. As you guys can see here, right, just quite a bit of leg we should be balancing. As you can see here, we've been having just consecutive days of expansion nonstop. So I kind of want to play the logic with some sort of midweek reversal coming into today to kind of balance some of these consecutive days of expansion as well. So anyways, as we can see here, right, we kind of opened high from nothing really relevant here. I mean, if you're looking at the hourly profile, yes, you could have took like longs up to these highs, but again, nothing I was really liking, because again, the reason why I did not want to engage more so in longs is because I don't like trading away from higher time frame failure swings. So as we can see here, we end up catching a 9:30 reversal and a 10 a.m. continuation. We're going to go over both of them today here. Let's drop down to the 15-minute time frame. So guys, dropping down to the lower time frame, let's talk about the reason why I did want to engage in shorts on YM here. Now, the overall logic realistically behind the YM shorts was a morning string switch, right? NQ and ES did already hit that previous day's high draw. And then we actually started seeing weakness here come into this asset. So I was actually anticipating YM to manipulate higher, follow with a string switch to deliver lower, right? Because again, it's much easier as well, guys, understanding that this is not a decoupled market. This is actually a synchronized market. So it's much easier to trade in scenarios like this, right? But nonetheless, guys, right, pretty much was looking for the manipulation higher at open, where 9:30 manipulated, and then we could trade the reversal in the true direction, right? And that's where we put in a lower time frame, second stage of divergence as well. So again, we have multiple confirmations and confluences aligned with these shorts, right? We do have valid draws on liquidity, right? You can even target down to some of these lows right here. Our overall objective, we were telling the community today, was going to be this higher time frame low, which is this Friday, the 1330 low. Let's drop down to the 1 minute time frame to show you guys like kind of how I engage in my entry here on YM. And then we can go over the same logic here on NQ. All right, everybody. So dropping down to the 1 minute time frame, as you guys can see here, right, this was that 9:30 manipulation where we expanded higher. As you can see, expansion from the manipulation followed with a string switch for expansion lower. This is the string switch we want to see here, and this is the move we anticipated, right? We put in a divergence at the high here, which allowed me to get into this position much sooner right here, right? Because again, since we have a divergence here and NQ made a little bit of another higher high here, I was able to get involved right here, anticipating this high to be my protective swing versus waiting for a closure here. Now, even if I didn't have this SMT here, just with the logic and anticipation of the string switch, I still may have got involved in this trade here, to be completely honest with you. Now, where was my entry sequence on this trade? Off this opposing closure, I got in here with my stops at this high, and I want to target all the way down here. But as you can see here, I actually did get out of this trade much sooner. So this is the area I actually got out of this trade here on YM. And this delivered me about 2.5 R on this trade. And this trade was taken live with the community. And let's go to the NQ short here now. So with NQ, it's pretty much something very similar, right? With NQ here, I was pretty much anticipating, right, the lagging asset here on NQ to catch up with ES and YM. As you guys can see here, right, we were in a 30-minute and hourly fractal across on NQ here. Pretty much since we already did manipulate this relevant high, this is a good sign here, because this is the asset I want to see also reverse after making this higher high here, right? And a lot of people don't really look at this asset, and they really should. This is the asset you should realistically be watching when you are trading reversals if this asset swept, right? So again, as you can see, a very expansion met with expansion here, and we have all of these lows here, right, that we can target here across the market, right? We have all of these lows here to run through. So let's kind of go ahead and show you guys where I got alongside of this trade here. So pretty much where I got involved in this trade is going to be here. As you can see, right, we had some back consolidation, right? Price was just almost like just running off stops back and forth. But as you can see, right, ES was actually the weaker asset in this case. And we started forming those continuations here on the way down, where I pretty much just got alongside of this continuation, right, in price. And I didn't get involved here, but I got involved off this closure here. I waited for the pullback, and this right here is where I got involved, right, in the trade. And this was my trade right here for this trade, right? I got involved on the pullback, stops were at this high. And this trade right here, I was just targeting down about 3R on this trade. So I was trying to play more of that lagging asset role because I wanted to see strength flip into NQ at this point to kind of catch up here to YM and ES, right? As you can see here, we hit a little bit of a consolidation here. And then once price broke this SMT at this 7 o'clock low right here, this is where you end up seeing us be delivered, because right now we do have this SMT at this low. As soon as we break this SMT, price flushes down. As you can see here, we break this SMT soon. As soon as we break this SMT, price flushes, right? And this is where I got out of this trade. Now, this is a trade you could have kept holding, because again, where was the real target here for price to, again, introduce potential new phase, right? Our target here is all the way down here, this low, right? And you're going to see here in a second, when we look over here on ES as well, this right here is going to be my target. Now, again, why did I not want to really hold past this as well? Because now we have an SMT at this low here, and this is an NQ relevant low that ES already took here. So now we have SMT here, and then we have SMT here, right? So we have SMT at this relevant low right here on NQ, right? Very important to understand this. So since this relevant low here on NQ was already manipulated, because right here, right, as you guys can see here, this is that low right here. This is not a failure. This is that low. So again, I'm viewing this as my relevant point of liquidity here in the market, right? So again, at this point, I didn't really want to hold into this trade any longer. I'm fine with 3R on this trade. And again, it brings me about 5.3R in total on the day. You know what I mean? So it's like really something you can't complain about. But as you can see here, once we hit that relevant draw on ES, that NQ low, and we form that divergence, price just starts to consolidate, right? And again, there's really no point for me to try to get greedy on the trade, right? But yeah, these are the two trades I did take in the community today. I hope you guys have a blessed one. Take care. Peace and love, and I'll catch you guys soon.